Dust still settling from a gigantic upset in the last heat as Kobe Enright took out Fitzgibbons. Now Gilmore trying to save one for the vets and the world champs, previous Bells champs. Here comes Steph's frontside carve. One of the most stylish surfers in the world. Just running through the inside now. Gilmore trying to get a quick start against Hareb. Little layback fin throw. And pulls it off.
Wow. That is such positive signs right there for Stephanie Gilmore. It's whether she falls off or makes her first wave. If she makes it, Joe, we know she's going to go to bigger and better things. Nice opening maneuver from Stephanie. Just smooth as silk as she brings this one back around. These are the waves you want. These little insiders, they're sort of a medium-sized wave that kind of hug the reef a bit better. And it just allow you multiple opportunities. And then that, well, that's just sheer talent right there. Steph Gilmore.
And she's competing against a familiar face. Paige Hareb, coming back to the tour, was a part of the top 17 in those early titles that Gilmore accomplished. Goofy foot from New Zealand getting started. Messy section there will take out Hareb as healthy looking numbers enter the screen.
This shows complete control. You know, she doesn't wipe speed off going into those turns.
Here comes Paige. Solid bottom turning, a big attack off the lip. Knifing it once again over the whitewater. Here comes the wrap. Two beautiful backside snaps to start. And now she'll just fill in the gaps to the inside. You're looking at a warrior, a seasoned competitor, a few solid years on the QS to finally make a comeback. So she's going to make it count. Sits down on the sand and recovered in a brilliant way after the 1-0-3 putts.
Wow, yeah, absolutely. Wave selection, very important here this afternoon. Watch these first couple of turns from Paige, though. Beautiful bottom turn and just rips the top of the wave apart. And again, nice and vertical there for Paige Hareb. Looking strong. Fixing that wipeout on wave number one straight away. She's going to put a fairly good score on the board here and get herself back in the heat. Steph's got to be careful. She's got to back up that 8.6, Joe. We've seen a lot of surfers drop a good score at the beginning of the heat and then kind of fall into a bit of a hole. So Steph's got to be very careful here. Find the right wave. Steph Gilmore, have a look at this one.
40 with a lot of speed. Kind of a late hit and a wall of whitewater. So she'll step off. Look for a better second scoring ride. Paige had a huge reputation when she qualified. She brought a new act to the top 17. Aggressive hack for Gilmore through the whitewater section. Right into a huge cut back into the pocket. Clean lines, effortless flow. Gilmore drives hard through the end section. She says, well, if you're not going to give me a lip to hit, I'll just crush the whitewater down the line.
Yeah, well, two of my favorite turns just went down on that wave for Steph Gilmore. Here we go, first turn. Bang, right there. That's one of my favorite turns from Steph. That got that release and then that swoop. Trademark, beautiful style, beautiful positioning. Smooth as silk in very tricky conditions. And that's Steph's forte right there, to make the impossible look so smooth and easy. Finishes nicely on that one. Another big score just about to be locked in for Stephanie Gilmore.
Those stories are long gone. It seems like now you have the Jake Pattersons, the Mike Parsons, the Louis Egans, and beyond that are just making that learning curve disappear. They're showing up at their first event, taking people out. Gilmore getting started. Little snap there and up and out. Rookie on tour. That was just based on natural talent and ability. She was traveling on her own back then. Paige getting a snap off the lip, deep off the bottom, climbing over the whitewater, so covering a lot of space on this wave. Had the 6.83 before, needs an 8.21 on this one to get the lead off Gilmore. Tough end section to work with, but Paige still has plenty of time.
Tell you what, Paige is surfing really well. It's just unfortunate that Steph just cranking it up a little bit. I think wave selection is going to come down to this last 15 minutes. Paige's got to sit and wait. She really does have to pick the eyes out of it. For a spot like Winky Pop, you can take off on a wave halfway down and still get a good score, whereas Bells Beach, you really need the best wave out there. You're almost looking for that set wave, that nice clean one. Paige, couple of big turns. She's in good form at the moment. I think just wave selection maybe letting her down just a little bit. Nice, smooth, swooping turn. 3 big backside snaps are upside down. But I think still she's going to be looking for a little bit more after this wave. End section, as you said, let her down just a little bit. Timing an issue on that occasion, but back to the drawing board for Paige.
Recently last season, lower trestles in that final against Keely Andrew. Back to this one, Paige Hareb. Drives through a big backside snap. Sets the rail. There's that sweep into the whitewater zone. Still looking for the 8-2-1 here. Now reaching for a vertical finish. She won't get credit for it there. So a tough one because she started off that way really well, Potts.
Yeah, again, I mean, you know, her surfing's not letting her down. The wave selection is, though. And here we go again.
Gilmore driving down the line. Set up carved. Now with the lip to hit. Throws it vertically. A lot of meaning behind every single turn she's thrown down to Bells today. Her snaps are looking solid. Her carves have so much flow. Manages the downtime well. Still flying down the line and winds up for the finish. There's the layback blowtail she was loving earlier. That one runs away. Threw down a lower trestles a few years back. Not to mention snapper, Bells, just about ever on the calendar. Even with Fiji, when that came on for a couple of years, she found ways to push herself in final there.
You know, and with only 10 surfers qualifying out of the WCT, I mean, that is difficult.
Gilmore's up with 90 seconds. Whips it quickly through the white water. Little climb, she'll throw that one away. Gilmore takes the win. 8.6 is her high mark as she moves on to round 3. She sees the door open with Fitzgibbons out. Also Keely Andrew out. She's not stopping until she gets another world title. Fighting for that 7th world title this season.